Guys, Daemonxel back again with another Eve Frontier video. Now, I did promise you I was going to do a video which was covering what I had missed during my absence, and that's what this video is. We are talking about base building. We are talking about things that are in the game that they changed, didn't tell us about, that maybe you're not aware of, as well as we're going to be talking some community news. So, let's talk about it. All right, you guys know exactly what I'm going to do. That's right, how we start off every video, and that is me leading you to the link in the description below. If you are not a founder, or if you are a founder and you have not implemented a referral code yet, my code is in the description below. If you have not purchased the game and want to become a founder, want to try all these cycles and everything else, not wait for the free week playtime available each cycle, go ahead and use the link. Go ahead and purchase, or if you're already founder, I think you can just still implement a code. My code is in the description below, and that is the plug. So, sorry, I am currently building my farm here because I am trying to get everything together because, like I said, my builds are off by about 2 weeks. So I'm still trying to get my mall built. I am still trying to get some stuff together because I want to make other videos for you guys, and that is finishing up the ship progression with the mall video. I am also going to be putting out a video about smart turrets, how you can implement them, how you program them, as well as linking gates. So we need the mall to do these things. Well, maybe not so much the turrets, but we need the mall to build the gates. At least I wanted to use them all. And so once I get all this stuff done, I'm going to put these videos out for you guys, and we're just going to keep rock and rolling. So let's talk about some of the things that you might not have known that have changed this cycle, or basically they fixed, and they just never told us about. Well, one of those things happens to be at your base. So let me just go ahead and get out of this screen real quick. Actually, let me just move some of these things around here real quick. Sorry. Again, we are the production going on here. And dropping this down for 250. All right, so let's get out of this and let me shoot over to my base. Obviously, I have my whereabouts still masked, so you don't know exactly where I am going. So we are now on our way to my base. And just letting you guys know, my base is not very efficient. It does not look very cool. I have not set up aesthetically. It is basically just organized chaos. And you will see this as upon arrival. So let's warp right there. Here we go. It's just a short jump. Well, short warp, really. Okay, so here we are landing on my base. It is an absolute mess. Yes, winds are sitting there. Yes, I still have superstructure. I will always pick a L point that has a megastructure in it. I just think they're cool. But as you can see, it is completely littered with portable things here. So, one of the things that they changed, right, is you know how these portable devices, that when we go into our build menu, right, we have our core, which is our refuge, our refinery, our printer, not so much the network node, but and the portable storage. They all have a decay timer of 3 days. So if they're out in the wild, right, if you have them out in a wild, they will, if you do not interact with them, they will vanish, right, along with everything that's in there. Well, whatever's in the portable storage will pop out in a cargo container, but again, you would have at least 60 minutes after it disappears to go get it. So basically just count it as lost, right? Now, what you might not have known is that they have changed this fact that while you are in this mode, let's just go to tactical real quick so we can see everything here. Oh, I guess we can't do that. All right, no, right. These will not decay now if they are set up at your base. That is right. Anything that is of the portable variety, that is a portable printer, that is a refuge, that is your portable storage, they will not decay in your base area. So feel free to just litter the space with as many portable. I mean, obviously, if you have hundreds, you are going to lag like hell landing at your base every time you do this, but you will not have to worry about interacting with them every, every other day so that they don't disappear. They will remain tethered there and powered, period, right? So as long as your network node is going, it doesn't even draw power from your network node. It just, for some reason, they just will not decay at your home base. And that is one of the first things that they've changed. The other thing they have changed is now the shield recharge timers on all of your structures. So the previous cycle, cycle 1, even the era before this, right, back in era 5, you would need multiple ships attacking a structure. And this could be even for a small structure, like your portable storage or a portable refinery. You would need multiple ships because you need a huge amount of DPS to put something into reinforcement. That has now changed. So going back into my notes here, and it was brought to my attention by one of the members of Vultur, and even at the beginning of this cycle, you would need 750 DPS was required, right, to put something into reinforcement. Now it is less than 60 DPS, and that means a Tades, one single Tades can put any structure into reinforcement. And there is a 2-day shield regen timer, means that structures can definitely be reinforced. And then you have a 12-hour window to follow up to destroy said object. So in other words, if you want to go blow up someone's gate network, this is what you would need. So that was also changed. Now, this is all moving towards, and this is why we're going to go into base building now. This is all going towards what the devs are thinking and toying around with, is removing the reinforcement timer of structures, which means anything can get destroyed. But they want to make it non-punishing. So there was a Frontier Friday, which was not this past Friday, but the Friday beforehand. And it was Jotun talking to CCP Cake Machine and CCP Hex about base building, where they are, what it's going about, all this stuff. And one of the things that they spoke about at the end of the video was this, that they do want, they want to satisfy both groups, right? The base people who want to remain safe, but also the marauders and the raiders who want to go and basically shoot up these loot pinatas. They want to make it not as punishing for rebuilding. Now, they didn't really go into what they meant by this. If maybe, think like Clash of Clans, right? Where someone raids your base and they get X amount of items from it, right? Maybe your base is still there and they didn't take all of your items, but they definitely got some of your stockpile. I think that's what they're kind of shooting for. They didn't really specify that, so don't hold me to that. But as far as base building goes, and I'm going to bring up the screenshots that I have here. Let's see. Oh, before I do that, we spoke in the last video about claiming Eve points, right? It is now working in the game. I have already claimed my Eve points, if you didn't see the community post. So we're going to authenticate here. We're going to go into this. Any day now. There we go. As you can see here, I have secured my Cycle 1 Eve points, and they are good. Second, we have a mosquito flying around. Now, as you can see, I find I don't know what the formula is, right? They're not going to tell us what the algorithm is to get these points. But you had people who got who earned 5,000 points and of grace, right? 5,000 grace. And when they retrieved all their information, they got about 3,000. So roughly, they lost 2K. I got 19,000. I lost 10,000 of those when converting over. So it seems the more grace points you had, the more grace conversion you were going to lose. It's never a 1-to-1. Now, that could be different for each of these missions. Maybe some of the missions are a 1-to-1 conversion, whereas recruitment or, the bonus stuff, maybe that is scaled back. We don't know. But, again, go ahead and get in game if you have not already done so. If you are a founder, you want to go ahead and get your grace. You're going to see a big claim button here. You're going to click it. It's going to give you an animation. It's going to tell you your Eve points. You're going to collect them, and then, that is that. All right, so base building, right? So there are 4 fundamentals they want us to know about base building, right? There you have your camp building, your base building, automating, and then modifying. So currently right now we are in the base building aspect of testing. Which that means is, okay, so we've done camp building, right? Camp building is basically you at your sites putting up these small things like a small refuge, portable printers, portable refineries, that sort of thing. Base building is dropping your node, having your hangar, basically having your, as you can see here, right here, my base, right? This is right here. We are, let me cause this. This is base building, right? Again, ignore the ugly base. Where you have all your structures, right? You have your shipyards, you have your assemblers, you have everything right here. What we have not gotten into is the next aspect, and that is going to be automation, right? Being able to do things on the fly. Now, they spoke that when they do this, they want to have it seamlessly. So you can set up things which will automatically pull from other storage. So in other words, if you have a job going, it'll automatically pull the materials out, right? You can automate, say, I want these jobs to run. If you have the materials in your storage, it'll grab it, throw it in there, and run a thing. If you have multiple network nodes set up in a system, it will actually take from one L point, bring it to the L point that you're doing this job on, and run the job that way. Let's see. So camp building right here, let's break it down. Okay, so with the concept, which is you're basically starting from nothing, you're coupling together makeshift structures basically to survive, right? We know this. This is basically the first things that you do in the tutorial. It's the first thing you run. So let's just get out of that and go right to base building. Okay. So claiming the space, establishing somewhere more permanent. So you found a spot somewhere in the vastness of the 120,000 systems. And yes, we are playing Alpha, which only has 20,000 systems, not the 120,000 systems they have planned for the game. But you found somewhere you find is relatively safe, right? It's intentional. You structure your construction through manual effort. You are laying down the fundamentals for expansion. In other words, okay, I need these things to build this, right? So for me to build a large shipyard, I'm going to need an assembler. I need to build ships, right? I need to build a warhawk because I need something with enough cargo space to put all this foam in so I can build this. So that's what they're talking about there. Emotions, well, we're just going to kind of skip over emotions, right? We're going to skip over that. So the evolution is the desire to escape from manual labor, the need for optimization, and the excitement about the prospect of exploration. So what that means is they want you to be out there exploring the vast universe and not have to worry about all this stuff you got going on at your base, which means they also want to have this set up so that you can actually, log in with a smartphone or your tablet or a second computer. And as you are exploring, you can actually run everything from your base, right? You could do it on the fly, not even in the system. You'll be able to do all those things. So they talk about the concept, which is the first steps of connecting structures and processes. So, like we said, pulling items from different structures to build what you need done. Resources start moving without the player's constant effort, so I don't have to keep moving things from from one portable storage to this, because obviously you can't pull from the smart storage to do a job. No, we got to pull it from the smart storage, put it in another storage, then to put it in the job. I digress. Efficiency and optimization becomes the driver of progress. Yes, so we want basically these things. I have all this stuff stockpiled. I just want to push a button and build what I want to build, right? I want this job going so that I don't have to spend 25 minutes repping this job. I can just set it up so I can go do what I want to go do, right? And the last thing is modifying. Now, the modifying is basically at the end where it is us, the community, since everything's going to be through smart contracts and everything else, writing our own apps, writing our own things, scripts and everything else to run everything, right? So as your players start to see the potential in adopting more customized solutions, players are encouraged to explore existing solutions and come up with their own. The base evolves into a more personalized ecosystem. Limitations present opportunities for expansion and explorations. More complexity and social interactions become welcome adventures. Players start rebuilding humanity in earnest. So, That's basically everything that they want done through the building. So we're going right through here, all the way across, right, until the end. What else I got here? Okay, so this is an example right here of what they're saying. So now, when we have our jobs going, right, we can actually start, and this goes back to the old era, era 5, where you used to build everything in the keeps, right? We can set up queues, right? So right here, we have this being built, we have this being built, this being built. So these are the different jobs that we have going. These are the inventories. And we can it'll just pull, and we can set up queues so that one job will finish and everything else. We can okay, when this job, I want this stuff here. When this job's done, I want it here. And you'll be able to change this on the fly. Now, when we do get to this point, you can still cancel your jobs. But when you are converting something from, one thing into another, if you're canceling mid-job, you're going to lose all the materials, right? Maybe if you cancel it right in the beginning, you might get some of your materials back, but it's not like now where you can cancel at any time and get everything back. That's not going to happen. So just be prepared when that lands, that's going to happen. And of course, what we've all been wanting to, the ability to rearrange our base with up and down vertical selection. So yes, this will be coming out. So we will be able to move our base around. It's not just, I want it here and there. We can actually pinpoint exactly where we want everything. If you want everything nice and neat, if you want everything, say you want, say your favorite ship in EVE Online is Knack, right? Naglfar. So you want to build your base as an homage to it, right? So you'll be able to do that because you'll be able to control the vertical up and down now, and be able to move everything in a 360 degree. And then they finished off with some things right here, which is next up, which is the access, control, and ownership, collaborative base building, which means, that's right, tribe bases. That's right. We're going to build a network node that's going to be available for tribes, which will have, I'm not sure if it's going to give off other L points or other things, but basically it's going to be not just for solo play. They're finally building something for the tribe, so everyone in group play can have something as well. They're going to maximize inventory and resource handling. Automation. We already talked about automation. Overview and navigation of base attack and defense and base repair and recovery. That's what we were talking about earlier, how they don't want it so punishing so that, like, your base gets raided and you're like, well, I give up. I don't want to play anymore because I have nothing left. Well, so they're trying to walk that fine line. So now let's move over into some community news. So as you can see here, there was a battle between Vultur and the tribe Vultur and the tribe Silver, where Vultur basically just smashed Silver to bits. Let me just bring up my notes here. As you can see here, lots of damage that was done. This was due, I believe, 2 different systems, and it was basically all at the same time. So it was like 1 afternoon. Oh, you may be wondering, how did this all come to pass, right? How did this great big space battle happen? Well, it was actually from a disgruntled ex-tribe member of Silver's, who said that he felt that he was sold on, hey, we're the next goons, lots of experience, when none of that was true. They formed a fleet to attack one of their gates, one of Vulture's gates, and they said, I'm just trying to go over my notes here. Okay, so Silver is based, from what I was told here, in AFF Tech GCB. Their keep, he said, that was the kind of the heart of their territory, and they were kind of spidering out from there, expanding out. So they wanted to kind of slow down that expansion as well as get in meaningful fights because, mining is just boring cycle after cycle. So there are some big tribes that just want to mix it up and just have some fun, get some targets, and blow some things up. So they started butting heads in cycle 1. So Vultur decided in cycle 2, let me see here, in cycle 2, the express intent of getting content out of them, they were going to go after them because they're a big tribe, they're a big, and Vulture's a big tribe. Let's have some fun, right? So they said in this cycle, they moved north to northeast, and Vultur kind of went more to the west when they started off. And as soon as both tribes got their feet under them and basically built up to a point where they can start doing, everyone started building gates. It said they ended up building gates that way through to J3T41, which is Jatai, which is on Murov's chain. When we kept moving forward away from AFF GCB, they did the same. In reality, we figured they're out basically just expanding in all directions. They said by the time the fight had actually occurred, Vultur had just built gates between D2TAA and B385N. That was connecting the Kalite and Merov chains together, and that they also had a gate pair across that gap as well. So both Vultur and Silver basically made gates leading those constellations together. Vultur goes on to say that they had already blown up that Jatai gate once before, and he said Silver did not get the hint, so they formed to fight Vultur. And Vultur sat outside their route, and what we knew the target was from the defector of them, and then they jumped him right after they landed on grid. He said they waited for them to reconfigure to EM disintegrators before attacking as well. The natural EM resists of an armor tank make actively bashing the structure more vulnerable. He said, yeah, everyone knows that if you're going to bash the structure, you want to shoot over to disintegrators because you can do a lot more damage than say coils or anything else. Well, at least until we see missiles come out or any other kind of things that did that. So basically what they did was they just sorted out the ships by tonnage. They started firing on the larger ships first, focusing those down, and moved on from there. So let's see if we could pull up some of the bigger kills of that fight. Well, unfortunately, it doesn't give me the information about that currently. They still have to, Alpha Strike is still in the process of getting changed, so we don't have ship classifications, and I don't have direct access to those kill mails. But they did go through a tear, and as you can see, Vultur themselves has been going through a bunch of different guys since then. They've hit up Trimark, they've hit up Exotech. So they are basically just focusing on PvP and just going after people this cycle. In the standings currently right now, obviously Clone Bank the largest because these are just anyone that hasn't joined or made a tribe or in Clone Bank. But we have 134 kills for what was that? Deterministic Systems. Vultur is in second place with 127 kills. This is as of today, 9/22/25. Silver is then third place, because I'm not really counting Clone Bank, at 75 kills. So there's a lot of destruction going out there, happening out there. Now, this was not only the one thing they got. I will put this up here as well. They were also able to get a Chumak kill off of Trimark Industries. So that is a very beautiful kill right there. Now, going back to, I guess third party. We're going to tap on third party tools real quick, as well as we were talking earlier about bashing, right? Structure bashing. Well, Vultur has a link that can help you. Let me just put this right here. And this is a siege calculator that they put on, especially with the new shield requirements, the lower DPS. So you can actually manually put in your stats, the XP, and you can calculate exactly how much DPS you're going to need for your siege. And you can find this right on their webpage, right? This is going to be Vultur1/siege tac calc, right? So also big shout out to Vultur. A lot of good things over there. I have nothing bad to say about any of those guys. At least I haven't run into anything bad about those guys. Looking to take them on as well in fights in the future. But if you are looking for a tribe, they are a great tribe as well for your consideration. You can always look them up either through their website, which is vultur.one, or you can go to the main Discord on the recruitment phase and look them up there. So big shout out to everyone in the community. And if you are part of a tribe or just have some news, community news that you want to share out there, if you got a tournament going on or if you got an event going on or you know some kind of juicy gossip that's going on that you want on the community news section of this channel, just go ahead and DM me on Discord and I'll make sure it gets out there. So until I talk to you guys again, you guys have a great week. Have a great weekend. Fly safe. And remember, here on this channel, we are always one vision, one purpose, one front. I'll see you guys all in the next video.